Hi, I'm Sean Freitas, the owner of Project Wellbeing, right in the heart of Las Vegas. We got a 15,000 square foot human performance center with state-of-the-art equipment, biohacking, precision wellness, and functional medicine. Building the Human Performance Center, the order of operation was extremely important. On this turf, 3,000 square feet, and the reason why I dedicated so much space is so we could dedicate free movement and the ability to warm up properly. That's why we put the Keiser functional trainers directly on the turf. Why? So we can do proper warm-ups. We got 4 guys warming up on the turf, and now we got 2 groups of 2 warming up on the functional trainer. So if we're doing sprint days, if we're doing days on the Vertimax, we have the ability to warm up multiple groups of people. What that does is create an optimal flow environment, right? So we go, let's talk about NFL offseason. So I got 8 guys on the turf. Now we're gonna flow them down into our squat racks and our Olympic platforms. So we go from that functional turf area where we do all of our warm-ups, all of our calisthenics, and then we come into our Olympic platform area. Now this was designed again with groups of people in mind. So 4 athletes per strength coach, and this enables us to, 1, execute our main movement here and execute our potentiation or our warm-up movements on either the Keiser squat racks or inside of the turf as well. So let's say we're doing heavy squat day. We're gonna get guys inside of the air squat, put about 80 to 100 PSI, have them do a couple of jumps, and then they're gonna go right into their heavy squat. The key is we're gonna do that during every single set. On our plyometric days, it's really important to get that neurological system going. So we got guys in here to do a couple of jump squats with the air bar on, and now they go right over to our boxes for their high box jumps. I've seen way less injury rate by doing things that way because, again, we're priming their nervous system up. You know, you can't expect someone to come in and not give them the tools and the resources to be successful. And here, with all the equipment, especially the Keiser pneumatic air pressure, I'm able to prime their mind and prime their body. So a staple Keiser piece of equipment has definitely been the standing hip. You know, being able to do that on your toes, so we're in triple extension while going through the movement, just allows me to do multiple things at one time. Number 1, to shorten down the warm-up time, but again, multi-joint, multi-planar movements, we can achieve that right on this machine here. So obviously, you know, having every single piece of Keiser equipment at my disposal increases my training arsenal. So great thing about Keiser is you can do super heavy sets, drop the weight down, and instantly go and max out for your speed and performance. And I found that instrumental when working with athletes and then trying to increase their initial acceleration. All right, let's talk about one of my favorite pieces of Keiser equipment. It's definitely going to be the deadlift, and I'll tell you why. Number 1, safety. Traditional deadlift platforms with the plates, when you come up, they bounce off of your back. This will not move, but it's gonna smoke you. You can go as hard and as fast as you want on this machine, and you're only gonna get maximal benefits. So let's talk about what you can do on an air squat. One of my favorite exercises is a single leg RDL while the person stays in triple extension. Why that's important is we can smoke their posterior chain while keeping everything safe. Again, we talk about exercise selections. Let's say we're doing a heavy power clean. My second movement is always gonna be a drop jump in here, because why? I'm getting the body ready to accept that load, and I find that movement to be instrumental when working on increasing their power clean. So I'm sure we've all used the cable machine, but you haven't used one like Keiser, because you can't do this on it. Well, you'll be calling your maintenance guy because they're gonna snap your cable. All right, so here I am standing in the Keiser rack, and what's unique about this is, yes, you can put mass and weight plates on, but you can also just use air, but let me show you something unique. All right, so here I am with my Olympic bar. I've got my mass, my plate on there, and I'm adding pneumatic pressure on there. Check this out. Step on it, add some resistance, okay, and now I'm good to go. Can't do that on any other piece of equipment. One of my favorite exercises, check this out, a Zercher squat. I was like, I don't like anything being optional. I was like, give me the whole thing. Give me the best. All right, so here I am in the Keiser leg press. What I love about this is being able to do strength tests, non-biased, because it takes the technique out so we can focus on power and performance testing. Again, we can repeat these things and we've got real data. Let's say someone comes in, they've never squatted before. Okay, there's too much technique error. Here, they're in one fixed position and we're able to repeat the test over and over again and collect that data. So again, we've got the whole line of ancillary Keiser equipment, and the great thing about that is it allows my physical therapy department to really take full advantage of not only optimizing recovery, but getting the athlete from being injured, monitoring their injury, and getting back to performance training with their strength coach. All right, so here at Project Wellbeing, we spare no expense on getting the best equipment. That also means for our PT department. So we've got all of the ultrasound machines that help recover tendon, ligament injuries. We've got 3 in-house doctors of physical therapy, and the great thing about that is we're going from performance to rehab or prehab into performance, and that's what really truly creates an optimal human performance center. All right, so another modality that we love using is red light therapy as the patient is either getting soft tissue work, dry needling, cupping, and again, that helps, number one, speed up the healing process and try to get rid of some inflammation as well as we flush the body out. All right, so we just went through optimal training equipment and an environment. How about optimal recovery? Because you can't have one without the other. Okay, here at Project Wellbeing, we have 2 saunas that do 2 different things. Here's our high heat finish sauna, which goes above 200 degrees. Hold on, I can't do it. I was going to. It's a number 1 rule, no shoe in there. All right, so something unique about the sauna is I designed the sauna directly from Finland. We've got an air mixer that mixes the oxygen in the sauna. So from the floor to the ceiling is an even 200 degrees, okay? You don't want to be sitting down and got 130 and your head's getting too hot. So a lot of fighters and boxers will cut weight inside of here. It just makes them feel more comfortable when they're already uncomfortable cutting weight, especially the morning or the night of. Oh, that's right. And we added salt into the sauna as well, and we've got salt in that air mixer. So when that's on, all that salt's mixing up through there, and that's true hygotherapy. All right, so I'm super big into red light therapy, especially being able to do that 3 times a week. So again, on here, we've got over 40,000 light diodes. And it's important to note that there's a lot of different red light beds, so making sure that that right light irradiance that's coming off of there, we don't do anything in the facility that's not supported with data and research. All right, so we've seen a lot of cold plunges. I'm gonna say that this is the best one. So here we have an official Project Wellbeing and Blue Cube partnership. Okay, not only does it look badass, but it's also got river mode inside. So when you're in there, you've got the water pushing against you at 37 degrees. It's definitely a fucking challenge. We might need to cut that out. So we had our high heat sauna. This is our infrared sauna. So 2 different things. One, we got heart health inside of the high heat sauna, and then we've got heavy metal or toxicity issues. We can use the we can use the infrared sauna that's set at about 150 degrees. All right, so yes, we push athletes, we push clients super hard, but I'm really big into recovery, and I'm also really big into mental health. So using the flow pod after doing some vibroacoustic therapy, again, just lets the central nervous system rest. I find it that too many times we're pushing people so hard, but we forget that everyone's a human being. So being able to settle down, relax is also really important, and that gets you ready for your next training day or your next training week. So I think what makes Project Wellbeing truly unique is we have precision medicine. I'll explain to you what that is. So precision medicine is DNA testing. We test the stool, we test the blood, we test the urine. We call that our health discovery. What we're using is we're trying to make a roadmap for your health so you can take your health into your own hands. And this allows us to have better outcomes for strength and conditioning, our physical therapy, working with our physicians, our nurse practitioners, and ultimately we're creating a roadmap for your health for not just 1 year, not just 5, but you can take this information and it can change your whole life. Something that we also do here, we do stem cells, so guided ultrasound injections with stem cells. I've got a full partnership with BioAccelerator in Colombia. They've taken care of hundreds, if not thousands, of all the athletes and celebrities that you know. They are the best. I love having partnerships with great companies. We also have a compound pharmacy, so we have our own peptides. And again, why is that important? Because they're getting made in a compound pharmacy. We're checking for heavy metals, toxicity, and we're making sure if we're giving someone something, there's nothing in there what's supposed to be in there. And by having the compound pharmacy, I can literally walk into, talk with the pharmacist or the doctors there. It's really important for me to be transparent with our patients and our athletes. All right, so now we're coming to my favorite part, is hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So here at Project Wellbeing, we've got 6 hard shell chambers, and we're actually internationally certified from Andy International. That's a big deal because I feel like a lot of places have hyperbaric chambers, but they don't know exactly how much oxygen the patient gets. Here, we have our physician write a script. So you're getting a specific oxygen dosage that's like your medication for whatever ailment that you have. Okay, these 2 white chambers are our medical chambers. So we have hyperbaric technicians that sit with the patient. Let's say you get a concussion. Okay, I get phone calls. I try to get the athlete in right away within 24 hours so you can stop a significant amount of inflammation by going to their brain and get that athlete feeling better extremely fast. A lot of people were adding hyperbaric chambers into their facility, and they cost a lot of money. It's not affordable to people. So what I wanted to do was I designed my own, and I added it into my Vitality membership, and it's unlimited usage. No one else has ever done that before. Why? It's so important. This is the #1 item for recovery that exists, and I wanted to be able to give that back to my clients and athletes and make it affordable to take care of your health. So the first time I ever laid eyes on Keiser was actually at Bishop Gorman. I used to work with a few of their athletes, and I was like blown away by the technology. And I said, you know what? One day I want to own my own human performance center, and I want to have this technology inside. And it took 7 years. 7 years, and I think I wrote that on my bucket list in my phone. And I think it's so important to actively visualize what you're going to do in your life. And I saw myself in this facility, and I wanted to have the Keiser. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the premier location, and I wanted to level up as an individual and the coach. And it took 2, because I'm a business owner and a coach, so I need to level up what it took to be able to afford it, go through the grit, open up a facility of my own. And what it did for me as a coach was instrumental, because it's not just for athletes. I've got clients that are 50, 60, 70 years old, and they work out on the equipment every day. And I think that, yeah, we all see athletes jumping around, putting up massive numbers and power, but how cool is it to see your mom or your granddad or your grandma, they're working out, but they're not sitting on stuff, they're actively moving, they're using pneumatic air. And they're able to do that because it's safe on their joints. And that to me was more inspiring than all the athletes that I work with, was to see that, because we're looking at our future. We're literally looking at our future as how we're going to take care of the next generation that is so powerful. And to me, that was success, is by being able to replicate that, not only to athletes, but to everyone. And for that older population, once you stop moving, you die. And by being able to use the pneumatic air, and especially with that age population, it allowed them to continue to move like an athlete, to continue to function in their life. All right, so, I'm really particular with who I have partnerships and relationships with, and I can tell you that working with Keiser, it's a family-owned business. They made me feel like I was part of the family. They're always there when I need assistance, when I need help. How should I design the facility? Do I need this item? Maybe go with this instead. And they help build me up to having every single piece of Keiser equipment. And I'm so excited to get the new deadlift in here. All right, but I just want to say, and this is true too, and I just want to say how important it is to make large investments into your company, but you have the other company backing you up, and they're going to show you how to do it. No other company has not only the data resources, but the educational team that's going to help you be successful, not just as a business owner, but as a coach. That's true culture and community.